Welcome back to the dark future. Today I have a pretty special video for you guys. On my website, I did a series called Kickstarter Spotlight. So I wanted to bring a little bit of that here, and I think this is a really cool project that you guys will like. One of the questions that a lot of people had about Cyberpunk 2077 was whether or not it would support VR. Unfortunately, CDPR didn't have any plans to go that route, but thankfully, we have a substitute for that coming soon from the makers of Technolust called Lo-Fi. Lo-Fi is the street name given to those who cannot merge with the platform. It is a ubiquitous virtual reality simulation where most of the population now live their lives. You play a lo-fi police officer that has recently been transferred to a particularly crime-ridden section of City Block 303. The only inhabitants of note in your jurisdiction are other lo-fi and human intelligence artificial life forms who have remained among the citizens after the AI singularity. If a lot of that sounded a little confusing, like the platform and the AR singularity, Iris VR, who are producing the game, are going to continue to update their Kickstarter to kind of go into the little lore bits of what those things are. The game features a massive, non-linear world that you can explore at your own pace. You can patrol the streets and the skies, solve mysteries, fight crime, or you can commit crime and give in to your corruption. Lo-Fi emphasizes exploration and character-driven storylines. You can choose whether you want to arrest a criminal, or you can extort them for money with the promise of their freedom, or you could also hire someone to go ahead and take them out for you. And when you get tired of hunting down crime or committing it, you can head over to the arcade for a number of other mini-games that they've included. The possibilities seem to be endless. Right now, you can fly over the entire city with all major PC VR hardware. Many of the key systems are in place. Many locomotion and comfort options are there. There's some gunplay, a drone companion that follows you through the streets as your AR HUD highlights points of interest and information about your surroundings. The entire soundtrack has been put together by Secret Sign, with background music being provided by Black_. The interesting bit of news is that they are also currently in talks with Gunship and Formshift. And if you are at all familiar with synthwave, you will have heard of Gunship. Lo-Fi is currently supporting most VR systems, including Oculus Rift, Valve Index, Steam VR, Windows Mixed Reality, and if you're on the PlayStation, one of their stretch goals is to also get a release on PlayStation VR. It is also important, I think, to note that unlike some other nameless Kickstarters, Iris VR promises that the game will not be exclusive to any platform, no matter what kind of offers they receive. It's priced at only $27, and the project's already reached 75% of their funding within the first 24 hours. And the Lo-Fi Kickstarter won't end until October 2nd, which is more than enough time for you to decide whether or not you want to hop on and try to bring the project to light. Iris VR planned to release Lo-Fi sometime in late 2020, but when it comes to these Kickstarter games, I always push that back a little bit further. So if I were to back this game, which I probably will be doing very soon, I wouldn't expect it until 2021. Just because I know that game development is difficult. They already have a lot of the systems in place. So it's possible that it will come sooner than that, but I like to be a little pessimistic when it comes to, a little cynical when it comes to the release of video games, especially something like a VR game. I've been following this project for quite a while. On their Twitter account, they have been posting a lot of videos, a lot of little tidbits. There was almost an hour-long walkthrough that a VR specific YouTube channel had posted of their playthrough of the game. And so I'm really glad that this game is finally becoming a reality, especially because we know 2077 is probably not going to support VR anytime in the near future. And the way that this game is so open-ended, so non-linear, I'm really excited to get my hands on it. And VR is becoming cheaper and cheaper now to pick up. especially if you go with something like Oculus Rift S, which is only around $400. That's quite a bit of money, but considering that Valve Index is about $1,000, it's a pretty good entry point if you're interested into getting into VR. So I'll put all the links in the description for you guys to check out. I definitely think it's at least worth looking at, especially for just the beautiful visuals that the game has put on display. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think if this series does well, I think I will continue to do Kickstarter spotlights like I have done in the past on my website. So you guys can check me out on Twitter at thedarkfuture2. Check out my website, as I've been talking about, at thedarkfuture.com. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the dark future.